house, and I thought since I was gonna make breakfast this morning that I should go ahead and show you how I make hash browns. And I'm also gonna make a sausage gravy, and we're gonna have that with some scrambled eggs. I start by putting a couple of potatoes into my food processor, and then I'll grind these up, turn it on. It's Cameron in the background over there. This is so much easier than how I used to do it by hand by having a food processor. You can peel your potatoes, or you can leave the skin on. Sorry, I like to leave the skin on, just adds a little bit more fiber. One more. Two more. Okay, and for the pieces that it missed, and it will miss some pieces if I go full, you just take out the big pieces that's left in like that. That you can see how well they're all shredded up there. And again, like I said, I go in and I take out the big pieces, and then I will pour this into a bowl. I usually use a colander. There it is, so you guys can see it really good. But I use a bowl. I'm pretty good now at putting it in a bowl and then floating it in the water. Don't forget about the onion. If you want to add shredded onions to it, you can. If not, you can just drop a chunk of the onion in there and it'll help maintain the color. And so I'm going to rinse this off and I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, I have the potatoes all washed. They're nice and clean. And so you want to rinse it. They seem fragile when you're first going through it because they're like all soft. But actually, when you know that they're clean when you get all the starch off and they're stiff like this. And they hold up really well. So you want to have these ready. Like I said, drop some onion in with it, a little bit of water if you're not cooking right away, and that'll maintain it. If you like the onions in it, just to have the flavor, you want to mince those so that they blend in really well. You don't necessarily see them, but you taste them. And so I'm gonna start next on a sausage gravy. So I'm gonna do breakfast today. Again, if you're just tuning in. And I'll let you see how that is made as well, and then I'll get my potatoes all steamed up and get them ready for the griddle. Okay, you guys, I'm going to be starting with some links like this that I'm going to be cutting up and slicing, I should say, and they're going to be for the sausage gravy. And then, of course, I'm using my little trusty rusty skillet that I tell you guys about all the time. I'm gonna make it up in here. We're gonna make a gravy over it. It's called a country gravy, which is a milk gravy that we call it in the South. Pretty much consists of milk, flour, butter, salt, pepper, and you can throw some onions in there, and then your sausage. And this is generally eaten over scrambled eggs in the morning, usually a nice biscuit, or you can use toast or muffin that goes along with it. I'm going to be doing hash browns, so I'm going to cut back on the carbs this morning, so we're just going to have it with eggs, hash browns, and then the sausage with gravy. So we'll be right back. Okay, you guys, I've still been incorporating some sausage in here. It's getting a little brown. You want this brown that's in the pan because that's the beautiful color that's going to come off in your gravy. And so I'm going to continue to put these last 2 or 3 in here that I have. And you're going to see I'm just pulling it right out of the skin. So it makes perfect gravy this way. It actually makes it a little bit easier. And one more to go. Got a little skin in there. And I'm gonna let these brown off. I'm gonna add some onion because I like the onion flavor in my milk gravy. And I'll be mincing those up and throwing these in. Okay, you guys, I added in the onion. I know I told you minced. I changed my mind. And so I added the onions in. They're gonna soften up and they're gonna cook down. And you don't really have to add any seasonings into this as long as you add black pepper. I think black pepper really makes milk gravy the best. So I'll be pouring in some milk into this after my onions soften up a little bit. And then we do incorporate some butter. We all know gravy's not healthy. It's good, but not healthy. And so I'm going to add a little bit of butter into here. It helps smooth it out like a cream, makes the milk a little bit creamier. And I kind of have this like on a low, about 250 right now. So I'm going to pour that in. Let me measure it out, and we'll keep moving forward. Thanks for staying with me. Okay, you guys, this brown that you see in the pan here, you really want to have this. This is what's going to give your gravy a nice golden color. You don't want to burn it. You just want it like a golden brown. The onions, it's always great to make sure you saute them really well, frying it with the sausage, because once you get it into the milk into there, they're going to kind of steam, and you kind of want that kind of golden crust onto the bacon. I'm sorry, onto the onions. I guess I want bacon. Onto the onion that's in here. I've learned to, over the years, for my milk gravy, I do my flour and my water. I put just a tad bit of sazon for a little bit of golden color. Then I pour in my milk so that it's already blended. In the South, I was raised, we poured in our milk and then we added in our thickener, and I found that this worked out a little bit better. You want to turn up the volume here so that it, turn up the heat here so that it will start to boil a little bit when you pour it in. It's not the greatest looking product as we start, but it is a great product. And we'll continue to stir this. So I'm going to continue to stir this until it starts to thicken up. And it's going to be great. I'm going to turn it up a little bit high so I can start to loosen up the brown color that's at the bottom of the pan. It's going to give it some nice color there. You can see it coming in. This is called the milk gravy. It's kind of, they also call it a country gravy, but it's basically a milk base. Again, I don't cook with a lot of salts because I think each person can season it as they go, personally for themselves. And a lot of the foods, especially like sausage and stuff like that, has quite a bit of sodium, so I try not to add too much sodium into the food. But on the milk gravy, I do like to put in a lot of black pepper. I think that really makes it. As this starts to boil a little bit, I'll start to turn it down. Okay guys, you can see it's starting to bubble. That means it thickened up. This way, when you incorporate your milk with your flour, not just in making the milk gravy, but regular gravy when you're making it, it keeps you from having those white clumps into your gravy. It's just going to come out nice and smooth, just like this, and you don't have to worry about lumpy gravy. It's getting nice and thick there. A little bit of brown on the bottom. You just want to kind of scrape at that. Keep it low so that it doesn't burn. And here we are, guys. We have a nice sausage gravy for our breakfast this morning. Once it's it's nice and thick, you want to turn the heat off, let it rest a little bit. The flavors will incorporate. See the onions in there, nice and dark and not burnt, but nice and brown, golden. And this is so much better than the canned stuff that you get. And the hash browns are so much better. Making them fresh at home, it's quick and easy. Takes about 5 minutes to shred them up. And it's much more, I think, flavorful than the square blocks that we buy from the market. So, okay guys, thanks for staying with me. And I'm gonna move on to our hash browns. Okay, you guys, while I'm steaming off my potatoes, I steam those off in the microwave to make my hash browns so that they'll have a soft consistency. If you've tried to make hash browns at home before and you're like, how do I get them soft on the inside? You want to microwave them off just a little bit to get them to soften up, not cook through, but soften up, so that when you put them to your pan, they'll brown on the outside and they'll pretty much already be soft on the inside. I made a lot of potatoes, and what I was going to tell you, this is the onion, about a piece that I dropped in. I saved these in my refrigerator, so you can make hash browns fresh for your family every day if you like. And this is going to still have the same look and consistency up to a week. I've left it over a week, and then I just take out, steam what I need, and then put those back. So you can make these for your family every day. It's more economical, I would say, when you buy a bag of potatoes, opposed to buying potato products. You can, with a bag of potatoes, make your hash browns. You can make potato chips, French fries, mashed potatoes, baked potatoes, stewed potatoes. You have more of a reach with a bag of potatoes if you just take the time to prep it in advance. And so this is, I leave the skin on, so these are the little brown pieces that you see. Like I said, to me, it's just fiber. Piece of onion at least this size to go down. Keep the water over the top of the potatoes so that none are exposed. And I promise you, they'll keep in the fridge for you. I put a lid over so that no one knocks anything over in it. And when we need them for breakfast, they're already ready. Thanks, guys. I hope you like that idea. While my potatoes are steaming a bit in the microwave, I use butter instead of oil when I'm making the hash browns. 2 reasons. It stops it from sticking. Also, it helps turn it golden brown. So you don't want to cook it too high. You just, want to brown off the sides. I do take a little butter and I incorporate it into the potatoes as well, and mix those up. And so when they have like a buttery flavor throughout the potato. And then when I flip it, it automatically has butter on the opposite side. So just some things you can do to make it a little bit better when you're making hash browns at home. And the potatoes are almost ready, so the next time you see it, they should be in the pan. Thanks for staying with me. Okay, you guys, I've steamed off the potatoes. When you start to notice that they're a little bit sticky, that's where you want to be with these. Then I incorporated my seasoning into it so that I could just mix it up really well. So as they cook, they'll be nice and ready. And even though I have it in this pan, you can cook it on the stove like this if you like, but I'm going to be transferring it over to my skillet. So this is what it should look like. You can spread them out like this. And as they start to brown, because they're already soft inside, you'll just be able to flip them over and have the crispiness. Okay, next time you see them, they'll be in the skillet. Okay, you guys, I've transferred it over to the pan. You can either drizzle that butter that I told you about, or you can place little pieces on the top. This is going to drizzle down. It's also going to coat the top of this. I just kind of cut it up here like that. I place it over, no rhyme or reason. And then I put a lid on it because I still want it to steam cook. Turn up my heat a little bit. And stay near it so that you don't let it burn. You want to listen to see what it's doing. You can hear the sizzle. If it's too much, then you want to drop your temperature down depending on your stove and your skillets or your griddle. So I'm going to put the lid over it. I'll let that start to brown off a little bit. And the next time you see them, they'll be all done. In the meantime, I'm going to work on some scrambled eggs. I'm going to whip those up, and then pretty sure you know how to do eggs already. So I'm going to whip those up, get those ready, and then we'll be ready for our breakfast. Thanks for staying with me, guys. Okay, you guys, I use a deeper dish. I like to whip up my eggs in here. The only reason I brought these to the set was because in our house, some of us crack the eggs, throw the shells away. Some of us crack the shells, put them in with the eggs, and kind of leave them there. If you do that, because the white part of the egg acts as a glue, you want to make sure that you rinse those eggs off. I usually keep mine in a bowl or colander because it keeps them colder that way as well. Rinse those off really well before you stick them back in the fridge so that your eggs won't clump together. Okay, just a little hint for you from me. Thank you. Okay, you guys, the hash browns are ready. I like my hash browns more steamed than fried. If you like to have more of a crunch and a steamy or shaped hash brown, you want to incorporate some flour, egg, some seasonings, and you want to kind of drop them into a deep fry. For me, I like the traditional hash brown that's kind of cooked in the pan and steamed and kind of browned off. So we're all done with this cook. I have the eggs ready, and I have the sausage gravy ready, and I'll give you a view of the last, and we shall see you in the next video. Thanks for staying with us.